All right, welcome to the next lesson. So in this lesson, I'll quickly show you how to work with animation data. So like we did before, we'll create a fake user, duplicate this, and would just name this data. I'll delete L, I'll go to pose mode, make sure everything is selected, all the rigs are selected, and I'll delete this keyframe. Clear out the rotation, scale, and the transform. And as for our constraints, I'll select this, reduce, and kill the influence. Select everything and move it to my prop. Press M to move the mesh to my prop collection. So I'll look at this from the front view. All right. So before we go into the data, animation data, how to import animation data with auto rig, there is a type for rigify. All right, I know this part you're going to like it. Many of you do not like this hard part. This is the hard part. It's the most important part. You get these animations you find online. The time was actually spent in creating these animations. Some of them were created using motion caption. I'm going to show you some free sites where you're going to get it all for free. You're getting a full package for this course. All right, so but before we go in, I have to show you the references, the websites where you can get these these actions. First, we'll go to Pinterest. So like I said, you can get references for your poses. So I'll refresh this. So Pinterest is where I get reference for your poses. Let's say you want to create a fight scene. So there is, if you look at this now, there is one for like a backflip. You can actually see it from from frame 1 to the next. You can animate it at different frame, like 5 frames interval, 4 frame interval. You could see this one. There's anticipation. You can actually see the way it's done. You can check poses for ballet dance and create different poses, which is what I would advise you as a professional to spend time doing. So there's one for run, there's one for half run cycle, there's different type. You see the one we worked on before. So there is a stylized run, like a cartoony run. There's a jump, there's a fast run, this is a tiptoe walk. You can create a tiptoe walk cycle, right? There's the confidence walk cycle, happy walk cycle, there's the bounce walk cycle. So experiments, play with this. I would advise you play with these poses, because this is what will get you the job in your Disney that you're looking for. We are all looking to work in places like this. So this is what they do. They actually rarely use animation data, especially when it has to do with stylized animations like the Hotel Transylvania. I like making reference to the Moana, the Despicable Me, Boss Baby. All those animations were done using manual keyframing, which is something you want to get your hands on. So if you need to just focus on the walk cycles, body mechanics alone, creating different walk cycle like the Strouds, the shuffle, the one that is sad, the sneaking. If you're going to create a sneak walk cycle, you could this particular walk cycle should remind you of Mickey Mouse or Tom and Jerry. There's a run cycle. There's practice and practice and practice till you get it right. So this is a website I come to get references if I want to animate any and some actions that I really need to animate. There is you can find actions for fight scenes. Sometimes there's a client I worked on a particular game for, so I was supposed to create an action for a fight character. So the character is supposed to have a different type variation of fights or actions, like the killing action, the fighting action, the sword fight action, the flying and hitting action. So those different actions like that, those actions you may not really find them online. Even if you find them online, some of these clients may just want you to customize them based on their specification. And if you're not hands-on on the pose to pose like we just learned with our walk cycle and run cycle, you will not get it right. There's also a walk cycle in case you want to animate four-legged animal. I already showed you in the rig when you want, if you want to rig for it's called a quadruple rig or amateur. So once you rig it, you can learn how to animate the walk cycle for the four-legged animal. All right, so we'll start with Mixamo. Just come here, sign up, come to mixamo.com, sign up with them. I already have an account. So when you log into Mixamo, you have access to a variety of characters and actions that you can use for your animation. For example, like what we are going to see right now. So you have different actions. So you can see in an action, there's different action you can use from here. So there's this very interesting ones you can play with. So there is the dance action. I would like to practice with. I would like to practice on this lesson using a dance action. You can come on your own. There are different walk cycles here, so you can get. But these were recorded using motion caption, so they are not really stylized, actions. So and it will be difficult for you. It may be difficult to edit this, this keyframe or set timing or because they were all pre-recorded. It's just like using a pre-recorded action. So you would see it in a bit. So it's just mainly for let's say you want to save time. If we add this, you could see this is an action you can actually place use on your character, which I will show you how to do in a moment. So we'll look for different action. Let's check for more dance. You can search by by animation or by character. So you can actually download some characters here and use for your own animations, which I would love to see anyways. When you download them, let me see what you've done. So let's find one dance action we could use, or dance animation we could use rather. Let's check. So there are lots of them here that you can use. There is Gangnam Style. There is salsa. There are different dance actions you can find. Okay, I think I should just pick one. So I think let's just go with let me go with this one. I think I would like to go with the one that he's moving from one point to another, so he's not just standing at one place. Doesn't just stand at one place. So all you have to do, you can make some adjustments, but I'll just leave mine at default. So I'll just click to download it. You can choose to download with the skin or without the skin. I always like to bring it in with the skin. You can choose the frame rates. So for our frame rate, we use 30. So we'll just leave it the way it is, and we'll bring it in. I think we'll just bring in with uniform keyframe reduction. Just bring it with uniform keyframe reduction, and we download it. That's it. That's how you download. It's an animation data. You download it and bring it to Blender. But while it's downloaded, let me introduce you to the next one. So for this site, it's called actorcore.real illusion. It's owned by Real Illusion Studios. So here you can actually rig characters and animate and actually bring them to Blender if you want. So here, if we come to motion, so you'd find different, some of these are paid for. They are actually paid for. You can download a pack of them. Some of them come in pack, and they have categories you can play with. There is a sit and talk animation, so you can find them, download them. Let's select this one, for example. I think it goes for $39. You can actually download them. I'll show you how to bring them into your characters. So let's play this one. So this sitting is also a body mechanics. You can actually practice how to sit. You can shoot a video of yourself sitting and pose out your action on how to sit. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to work with reference videos in our next module, which is character acting. So it's also a body mechanics you can actually practice on your own. So you can clearly see that these are all polished. They're even stylized anyways. You can see they are all polished and professionally worked on. Depending on your story, you can come here and pick a character or buy some actions and take it back home and work on it. So there are different actions that you can play with. Come to actorscore or .com, select motion, and you're good to go. There's a new plugin that came out, AccuRig. I haven't tried this before, but I hear it's dope when it comes to rigging. Okay, you can actually come check this out, but I think I'll try it out and do a separate tutorial of how you can actually use it on your project. So the reason why I'm introducing you to this is so you make your work easier, faster, depending on the story you want to tell or depending on the kind of job you want to do. So you can actually come here and make work easy for yourself. It's pretty much the way auto rig works, the way I'm seeing it. You can actually add animation to it, bring your character to life, and that's it. So this is where you come and get animation data from. So I think I bought once, but I haven't actually used it. Yeah, because I always want to have control over my characters. But I'll try it out. I'll do a separate tutorial for you guys to check it out for AccuRig. So the next one is Deep Motion. Now Deep Motion is really innovative in the sense it's powered by AI. So you can come to Deep Motion, sign up for free. I think I have an account with them. Yeah, so this one uses your video, so you can literally shoot a video of yourself, upload it to Deep Motion, and Deep Motion will generate an animation data for you. Okay, so this one I'll have to do a separate tutorial for it. So I'll show you how to import your character into Deep Motion, and it will track all the actions you're doing and generate a data for you that you can use for your animation. So that's how it works. It's very useful. It's limited in the sense that you can only animate, I think, 1 minute per unit. So it's actually you can actually pay for it, create like 1 or 2 minutes of animations per per credits or per use. So we are in the freemium. I'm using the freemium right now, so that's the limit that it has. But I mostly use Mixamo if I want to create quick animations for for brands, and I have short time period or for short time frame. I'll just come here and pick out an action that I need or I want to use to combine with another action to make my work faster. So that's where this is where you get characters. So there are some good characters here, cool characters here too. You might have seen some of them online. So some people have used some of these characters. I don't use them. I just like creating my thing from scratch. All right, creating my own characters to avoid copyright issues. Unless you just want to play with them, so just come here and download your characters and you can work with them from here. All right, so that's it. So let's hop to Blender and bring in our animation data. It's finished downloading. All right, so I'll come to front view. Let's hide this camera. Okay, set my 3D cursor to the middle by pressing Shift C. All right, so I'll come here to File, Import, FBX. I'll come to Downloads. That's where I saved my file. Bring in salsa, dancing. Leave all the setting as default. So it will take a minute. So this is the dance. You can see all the keyframes are all uniformed. All right. So if I, with all these selected, I'll switch to Bezier and extend click and drag to extend my keyframe, my timeline, which is 570 for this animation. So I would disable auto keying, so I'll move it to the side. So if I play this now, you could see the dance. All right, you clearly see the dance. So we want to transfer this animation data to our character using auto rig. So auto rig comes with that function that you can actually transfer an animation data to your own character. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and I know it's exciting. You can't wait to get your hands on this. All right, so you come to your auto rig panel, select rig, okay, then come down to rig pro, auto rig pro remap. So I'll press escape to stop the animation, so it gives us room. And right now it's going at 19 frames per second. It's supposed to go at 30 frames per second, which is a bit slow. So I'll come to my render panel and select simplify. Make sure I reduce the subdivision in the scene, so it's going faster now. So just simply what this button does is that it simplifies every mesh, reduces it to its lowest subdivision or lowest form, so that you can actually run your animation, you know, at the speed it's supposed to run. So with this is source selected, I'll select this eye drop, so it selects this as the source, and the target, which means it's asking for which target, which character do you want to target. So I'll select this as select my character and select this eye drop picker. This it says pick object, yeah, this eye drop icon. So I'll click on auto scale, so the character scales to character's proportion. The next thing, I'll select build bone list, so it builds. So what this does is that with the bones here, it actually builds a bone list corresponding to the character's rig. So you can see that all Mixamo hand left dot index has built a list for the control underscore hand ifk. So every rig now has a bone list from Mixamo. Very, very interesting tool, amazing. So we'll scroll down, come to where it says mapping presets. This is very important. So you click on this drop down here and you select Mixamo. So what we want to select is Mixamo FKI. So there are different parameters here. So you can use FK, IK, LX, FK arms, IK legs. Remember when we talk about FIKs for arms. So if we select IK arms now, you notice that the arms will be left behind when the character translates forward. So what we want to select is FK arms, IK legs. So you can see that it selects every it will only generate animation for the FK arms and the IK legs. So you can actually choose IK arms. So you see that there's an error here, so you doesn't generate for the eyes. So the animation has not been generated for the left and the right eyes, and some precepts will not be generated too. So you can also choose FK for everything. It will not work that way. But if you select FK arms, IK leg, it also works best. So you can see that it works perfectly. So the next thing we want to do is redefine the rest pose. So we want to set it such that this character starts at the rest pose of this our own character. So we'll just redefine, just follow along. So we'll select that, and it will ask us if you want to set for current pose or for saved pose. We'll just set for rest pose, select OK. So we are not seeing the bones right now, so we'll come to our rig panel, come to viewport display and select in front. So all we have to do is just select this bone, box select this bone and click copy selected bones. So it will copy the pose of our existing character. So you do the same thing for the other hands, copy selected bones. So it will copy the pose of our own character here. So we'll do for the legs, copy selected bones, copy selected bones. Once you're done copying selected bones, you click apply, and it's going to apply this rest pose to our character. So once that is done, you can now scroll up now and come and click. You make sure you save your work, because at this point it might crash your Blender, depending on the kind of workstation you're using anyways. It might crash, so you wait for it to save just a bit. So you press on retarget. So we'll select Bezier. All right, so it's going to ask for retarget from frame 1 to frame 5770. So yes, you may choose to create a fake user from this. Yes, we'll create a fake user from it. Then we'll set OK. So it will take a few seconds to calculate, or a few minutes to apply this animation to your character. So mine is done calculating. Yours would be done, should be done by now. So if you play this now, you'd see our dance animation has been applied to it, and it's even fast. You see how beautiful that is. I mean, guys, this is amazing. In few minutes you're able to apply an animation data to your character, and that's how it works. So I can select this now and delete it. You see that? You can see that. Wow, this is cute, isn't it? If you notice, the hands are entering into the shirt or the clothes, which can be adjusted. Okay, I'll show you how to adjust that in a minute. So you just come to interactive tweaks. So it means that you want you're saying that any controls that are interacting in a way that you do not want to, you can actually come here and interact with it. So I can now select this top. Let's select my rig now, switch to pose mode. I'll select this top rig here. You find that the name is control arm fk.r. So I'll come to the list of bones here and look for control arm fk.r. It's really important you do this part like this, because when you select it here, I mean, it's now active. You can now come here and tweak it. So I'll scroll to that part where it's, you know, entering into the clothes, just here like this. So this is it. I can now come here now and, you know, come under the adaptive rotation. I'll just leave this as default. All right, and rotate this on the X and the Z axis. Maybe that didn't work exactly. So X axis worked, so I'm rotating it on the X axis, so you can see it there. Exactly, you can see that it works better. So you see I rotated it on the X axis, so you just tweak it however you want. If you see that the interaction is not well done, however you want it, you can just tweak it that way. So now pause. I think we had the same issue with the other arm, this one, this one right here. So I'll do the same thing for this one, which is control arm FK left. So find it, control arm FK, control arm FK. There you are, control arm FK left. So I'll do the same thing for, you know, for the left arm. So if you play it now, I just want to make sure that everything works fine. Look at it from different angles. So if I look at it from this angle here, okay, everything is working. So you see, I mean, we have a beautiful animation. Like you can use this for, for your motion graphics, to actually test out your animations. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I mean, this is, if I select all the controls now, you could actually see it here. This is pretty much the downside to using data like this, unless you do not plan to edit this animation. Okay, but this has its down. This is the only downside I find when it comes to using animation data. You should have planned out your script or your story and say, okay, at this point we need this character to just be dancing, and we will not bother the character. So, but so far so good. This is amazing. I mean, you can use this however you choose to. You can just come to mix some more. I mean, there are lots of, if you come to mix some more now, there are lots of characters. So if I play this one, oh, I think I'm not connected to the internet, so I just have to connect to the internet. So there are lots of characters to play with. So there are lots of animations to play with, a lot of them. So you can just come here, pick any animation you want, test it on your character, to see if it works. I mean, if your rigs respond correctly. Okay, so that's pretty much how to use animation data on your rigs using Mixamo and Auto Rig. See, okay, this works well. I'll do a separate tutorial for Rigify, but so far, like I said, I mostly use Auto Rig. Okay, and maybe when I create another separate video for Blend Rig, you would actually see it. You see how smooth it is. The feet is is planted on the floor. Even when we switch to our rig here, you can actually see that the feet it's not so perfect. You can see it's not so perfect, which you can actually use the tweaks here to achieve, but I think I'll just leave mine as default the way it is. So this is how you create your animations. You're done. You can come here and even search for character talking. If you just want a character to be talking, you do not have this character talking on the phone. I just select this one. I need to play with it, create as many data as you want to, and many animations from this data as you want to. However you please, however you choose to, it works. Okay, so this is how you create quick animations with Mixamo and Blender. So in the next lesson or in the next course, so I'm going to wrap this up with this one right, for body mechanics. I believe you now understand it. Let's do a recap. If we do a recap now, I said you should come here and find different references to work here. I highly recommend. I do not, this is good. I mean, it's amazing if you want to do quick work. You do not want to spend time creating, as it were. I mean, you do not want to spend that much time, so it's fine. You can do this, you could use this. Okay, but I highly recommend if you want to be a Disney standard animator or a Pixar standard or Netflix, Illumination. I mean, these companies I'm mentioning are companies I dream about working with. So there is Pixar, there is DreamWorks, there is Netflix, there is Disney, there is Blue Light, there is Illumination, there is Warner Bros, there is Paramount. There are a lot of them, okay, that I dream of working with. Okay, and you won't want to present this kind of animation as your portfolio. This is what they will look for: your ability to recreate, ability to train your eyes. I've stressed about training your eyes in this tutorial. I can't even count how many times I've stressed about training your eyes, but it's important that you come. This is what I highly recommend. Okay, so come here, get as many references as possible, recreate them. Let me quickly show you another site, which is Sketchfab. there was Sketchfab. So in Sketchfab, here at Sketchfab, you can come here and download 3D models. I mean, you'd have, if you do not have, for now, even if you have the money, you do not have any business buying any 3D models right now. I do not recommend, especially as a beginner. Do not buy. Learn to create yours. Okay, you can create and sell here if you want to, but I highly recommend you learn to create yours. Okay, I mean, if you haven't already created your own character from the course, watch the tutorial again, create yours. I mean, this model is also available for you to download and and play with, but learn to create yours. I mean, something as simple and straight to the point as this. Learn to create yours. Be an author of your own work before you start downloading stuff, unless it's really expedient, or it's really, the work is really demanding, as it were. So you can come to explore. You come to downloadable, search for any character you want to, and you can download that character, clean it up, okay, and from there use that to animate your character. Use Mixamo, create a quick animation, and you can add that to your portfolio and get hired. I can't stress it enough. Always, if you want to be good, like so good, that is what I do. I rarely use Mixamo, except it is a highly demanding job and I need to do a quick one and send to the client. But I highly recommend, come here, pick a reference, recreate that reference, polish this animation you see here is already polished. It has been polished from graph editor. You could clearly see the spaghetti here. From all the controls, you could actually see how the curve moving. This animation is like getting an already made custom animation, which is something I do not recommend you do unless you're sure that you're not going to edit this character, or you're not going to customize this character. So I highly recommend you come and get reference and create, or shoot your reference. Go take a camera, take a tripod, or use your phone, place your phone, act out what you want your character to do, from the facial expression to the body mechanics to the hand. You can actually see there is hand there's hand mechanics here, so you can actually see if you want the character to fold, if you want the character to hit the table, to slam the door, you can animate that and recreate that on your own character. So that's how you become a good animator. To be honest with you, I've stressed it here. Always learn to observe. Be a very keen observer. So as an animator, you have to see it differently. I know it might be boring watching animations with other people who are not animators, because you're watching the animation now to actually learn and grow. Okay, so another sweet thing about you can come to deep motion. Okay, when you finish acting out what you want your character to be, you can actually bring it to deep motion, and the deep motion will create an animation for you. There's another one which I want to test out. It's called, as at the time of this recording, I have not tested out this I'm giving you a full package. All right, I'm giving you a full package. I mean, you can explore however you want. So Rikoko Studio uses mocap suits. You can see they actually recreated, they shot the video and brought it to life on their character. You can see this, and this is beautiful. Okay, you can do this instead of just download pre-made content. So this is amazing. You can just come here. This is why to get this suit is expensive. I don't even recommend that even as a beginner. But there is also a Rikoko video animates with your video cam in minutes. So what this means is that you can literally shoot a video, and it will generate a rig, generates a data for you from that video, and you apply it to your character very quickly. All right, you do not have to even do the pose to pose. But again, I recommend as a beginner, all right, or as an intermediate, before you, I mean, at least grow from beginner to intermediate before you get to advanced. I highly recommend you do this, do the pose to pose, right? Take your time, take the weeks, take the months, take the days. I recommend you do the pose to pose. Learn how to master pose to pose first before you try out all these technology. All right, because I mean, you could clearly see this. This is real time mocap. So this is a suit, and the character is actually wearing it. The character is actually doing what the mocap suit is creating. So this is Rikoko Studio is good. I mean, it's quite expensive to get a bit expensive. I mean, especially if you're a Nigerian. I mean, I don't think you have any business getting this suit at the moment. I don't think you have any business getting this suit right now, especially as a beginner. If you're my student and you get this suit right now, I'll be very pissed at you. All right, so this is how much is this for the suit alone. This is the glove. They're all separate, so you have to get them separately. There's a face cap, so these are all separate. So I think the total of this will reach it to about 10, or reach to about, give or take, 5k. I mean, plus shipping. I mean, if you can afford it, it's fine, you can get it. But if you're my student, I'll be pissed if you get it anyways, because I've shown you, I mean, a list of especially deep motion and Rikoko camera interaction, which is this one. So guys, I mean, I don't know if I've done justice to this course, especially for the body mechanics. This, guys, I can't stress it enough, use references, shoot a reference if you must. All right, so in the next module we'll dive straight into character acting, which is the last module for this course. I know it's exhausting for you. It had been exhausting for me. I've been working on this for months, and it's not really been easy, you know. I mean, most times you have to recreate the tutorial, because when you're done watching it, you just realize this is too advanced. You have to distill it to its granularity. All right, you have to distill it to, as like, let it look like a 6-year-old is watching this. And I don't know if I've done justice to this. Anybody can watch this and recreate an animation however they choose to. So I'm going to see you in the next lesson. I need you to, you know, practice before you start the character acting class. Make sure you have practiced this. I need you to recreate as many animation you want from Mixamo. I need you to, you know, recreate as many references as possible. At least have like 3 or 4, not less than 5. All right, if you want to, however you choose to go wild, go on YouTube. I mean, their body mechanics, there's one I need to recommend. There is parkour body mechanics. Just find it, parkour body mechanics. I mean, I'm really taking my time to, like, I just add 3D as a keyword, 3D animation as the keyword, so you can find different body mechanics you want. So there is this one. I'm trying to find here. There's this one here. CG Society have done a good job on this. Let me reduce the volume so you'd find. So you see, there's this one. So you see, this was done from a reference. Again, you didn't really shoot this. This was done from a reference. You didn't really use animation data. Okay, so you could come try this, run, jump. I mean, you know how to create a run cycle. I mean, as short as this, we created. All right, so there is avatar. I think that I created one avatar animation like that. So you can find that. Let's find. See, I think this is one of it. So recreate it. See how it's. I mean, this is beautiful. Just get and there are references for this. There are references for this. You can watch. Go take your favorite. What's it called? Spider-Man movie and recreate them. So this how you. I mean, you can see this particular guy recreated a portfolio for just body mechanics, and this is what they look for when you're applying for any of these jobs. Okay, so just come here, pick or search for, body mechanics, as many as possible. Okay, so just search for them and knock yourself out. All right, so that's it. So I'm going to see you in the next course. I wish you all the best, and even as we wrap up this whole course with the last module, which is the character acting, I believe that in the next 3 weeks, 6 weeks of you practicing or learning this course, you become I've been able or succeeded rather in taking you from a newbie to a pro, quote and unquote. All right, so because when you finish, you create something like this and show it to a client, you're like, oh, this is really good. I mean, it says you're a pro. Okay, all right, so let's see you in the next class in a bit. So bye.